Hi everyone, welcome to another series. As you might be knowing, in Epicenter we do a lot of document review workflows, especially on AWS. So in this particular series, we'll be looking at how we can have an insurance claims processing workflow and agents doing the ingestion, the coverage check, and so on and so forth, right? So the user would need to upload the claims document, which will have the details of the claims he wants to make, and then internally we'll have agents ingesting the text and checking the claims document against the actual policy coverage, right? So this is the use case we'll be exploring in this series of videos, and in this video we'll start off with the architecture, what it entails to create this kind of a system from scratch in AWS, and then from next video onwards we'll start with the setup of the Terraform modules, and so on and so forth, right? So let me share my screen quickly. So this is what typically the architecture would look like. We will have a S3 a source in place where the file would get uploaded, and then as the file gets uploaded, it would trigger an S3 event. That event would in turn trigger a Lambda, and then that Lambda typically triggers AWS Step Functions workflow. And AWS Step Functions, as you would be aware, is used for orchestration, and that is what I generally use for orchestrating all of my agents inside of any workflow. And since we do a lot of document review workflows in Epicenter, so typically this orchestration would involve one ingestion agent to ingest all of the text which is uploaded, because text could be a normal text document or a PDF which is a scanned PDF, right? So even that should work. So we will have that ingestion agent working to extract text from both normal text which is anyway readable or a scanned document, right? And then right now I have put two agents, which will be the coverage, which will do nothing but check the coverage. That is, it will ingest the text from both the user document, claims document, and the actual policy document, and it would basically check the two documents or the text extracted or ingested from the first agent, and tell us whether the coverage is there or not for the claim which the user is making, right? And then I have put a payout agent. So this is just a brief architecture. This may change. This is just to start with. So we start small, we start with something in place, then we can go ahead and do more advanced stuff, right? So that's how I generally do my workflows, that I start with something. I don't look at the end goal, total end goal. I basically break it down into small goals. So first goal is to get the system up and running with the different Terraform modules with various permissions in place, right? And then having couple of agents in that workflow, and then we build on that existing infrastructure. Okay, so later on we may have a decision agent, or we may not have a decision agent. I am not aware right now, we'll see. But the idea is that definitely we will have an ingestion agent and a coverage agent, and a trigger, obviously a Lambda to trigger the event which contains the file details from S3 to step functions. That we are doing because obviously the S3 event is not, the S3 event doesn't directly trigger step functions, so you need something like a Lambda there. Okay, So that's pretty much about the basic architecture. So in the next video, we will look at getting this system in place, that is the AWS Step Functions with S3 resource and couple of agents in there, which would be ingestion agent and coverage agent. Then we'll try to build upon that to include the trigger Lambda and the payout agent as well later on. Okay, idea is to get the system up and running with a file upload to S3, which triggers an ingestion agent, and the coverage agent being able to tell us whether the claim is covered or not. It will give a boolean yes and a no, and then we take it from there. Okay, so hope this series is exciting. This is one of the typical use cases for an insurance company, and we try to make it automated, so that manual reviews are avoided. So generally, if a claims document is uploaded, in general what I know is that an insurance company would have a reviewer who would manually review that claim document and then check it with the policy document, and basically decide whether that claim is a genuine claim, it is covered under the policy coverage document or not, right? Instead, we want to make it automated, where the agent where the workflow decides whether the claim should be processed or not. And obviously, if it's a risky scenario where the workflow is getting confused, then we will try to push it down to human approval. But for very triage kind of scenarios where it is really less risky to auto approve or auto process the claim, we want to get that automated, right? So hope you will like the series. So till the next video, this is Romit from Epicenter signing off. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.